Welcome to the creative extreme, where imagination without limitation is the only expectation.
Welcome, everyone, back to the Abbott and the Artista. It's been a minute, but we're here. We're ready to go. I'm Christopher Ikpo, aka the Artista, with,
Stephon Thomas, aka the Abbott.
and yeah, man, it's been a minute, but we're back in the saddle, ready to ride again,
We
hit
we
these
we we, we
creative
we have
extreme
we haven't been
streets.
we haven't been stopping creating. We've been creating. It's just haven't been
Yeah,
on the pod in a little bit, but still making stuff happen. Still making stuff happen.
yeah, and but we wanted to come back with our first, episode of the pod in a little bit different way. We have a very special guest who's going to be joining us today. Her name is Chelsey Goldsmith. She's an actor, stunt performer, all around badass, just great person. And we collaborated with her on a project, but she's going to be joining us here. We got a lot of questions for her. Man, Steph, this is going to be a good one. I have a feeling it's going to be a great interview.
Yeah. Just we've been following her, of course, since we worked with her on the project, and yeah, I'm really excited to talk to her today.
Yeah, we got to, I mean, we're going to get into film. We're going to get into, creative processes and thoughts on, the industry, thoughts on, how to go about being a creator while also being a performer. Man, just so much to cover. And of course, we'll get into how, we met her and the project we worked on together. But, you know, um, we wanted to come back, like I said, with a bang, something different, something special. So we're bringing a dope ass person on for an interview, so we can kick it, rap, and get to learn, a lot more about her, her career, her life, her journey, and everything. So, Steph, if you're ready, let's get into it.
Yeah. We hope you enjoy. We hope you all enjoy the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget Creative Extreme, like, follow, subscribe, share all of our stuff, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. God, what else, man? Threads, uh, X, Twitter, whatever. Just,
Yeah.
YouTube, find us, hit us up, share our stuff. This interview will be up on socials, for clips and stuff, but it'll be up on YouTube for the full video. So yeah, definitely make sure to check us out. You don't want to miss Chelsey's interview. You don't want to miss the Abbott the Artista. Like I said, we're back and let's get into it. Thanks for joining, everybody. We are here with a very special guest joining us on the Abbott and the Artista. She is an actor. She is a stunt performer extraordinaire. She is educated through the theater, and she has been killing it in Hollywood for a very long time. She actually graced one of our projects with her phenomenal skills. She goes by the name Big Chelly, not Little Chelly. No, her name is Chelsey Goldsmith. Please welcome Chelly, everybody.
I
Thanks for
love that.
joining.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll get into how we, got connected or, started working together in a minute. But we're gonna skip over the David Copperfield I was born, I grew up thing. So you were initially from Oklahoma, correct? Am I correct in
Yeah,
that?
born and
Edmond,
raised.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And you went to Northwestern University of Louisiana, where you studied theater, a thespian. Am I correct in that as well?
Absolutely. You're
Okay,
good.
great. Thank you. And that led you to obviously killing it in the game now. But what was it about the theater or film that got you wanting to actually study it and then go on and pursue it as a career?
It's a good question. I think for as long as I could honestly remember, I've always said I was going to be on TV. I think the first movie like VHS that I owned was Cats. I think it was a 93 version in one of those years, and I would play that on repeat, and I would learn the dances, and I was like, "Oh," and in my head, that was Hollywood. LOL, it was theater. And I'm like, "I'm gonna do that." So after I graduated college, I graduated early. I graduated in 3 years because I was taking like 28 hours a semester like a maniac. I didn't even know that was it
Okay.
wasn't possible. I needed a sign off from my dean and my department head, but I wanted to graduate early so I could get out to California. So, um, yeah, as soon as I graduated, I went out there and I started acting almost immediately. I got all the things that I needed to. I got a job. I started working at 24-hour fitness and I was catering and I was a dishwasher. And trying to say
Yeah.
that. I did a lot of things just to
Okay.
get
You were
by.
hustling. You were hustling.
Hustling,
Uh,
hustling. All right, all
it
right.
never
Yeah.
stopped. Still
Yeah.
going.
Mm,
Still
mm,
going.
mm.
Oh God. And then I mean I was acting, but within about 6 months of me being there, I found stunts and got my first job and I got tapped before I even know what that was and how important and how special that was. And then after I got tapped, I just never stopped.
Mm.
Yeah.
And where did the martial arts come into play? Because I mean, you got hands, you throw them like a pro. Where did that start? Did that start in Oklahoma? Did that start later on in life in college? Where? Because I know you didn't pick it up when you got out to LA, and in 6 months you were doing what you're doing now. Like where it had to have come along since you were younger. That's my guess, but let us know.
That that's an awesome guess. I actually didn't start doing martial arts until I got into Hollywood.
Damn,
I yeah. We like
that's
to say
wild.
yeah, that's my acoustic superpower. I'll say that. I'm really good at mimicking but I'm also a hard work. I drill, I drill and I drill and I drill. I will say I did a few fundraisers in high school. It was like boxing for Balto. I boxed a little bit to raise money for a few months in high school. I'm not going to be a liar, but most of my knowledge of martial arts at all, and I don't have nearly as much knowledge as all of my friends, but um, I did start once I started training in stunts, and then fairly early on, I was found by Larnell Stovall. He brought me into 8711, which is, if you don't know, they're an amazing group, amazing stunt
Yep.
team and production company.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they train hard. They took me in, put me through the ringer, and I learned a lot there. Became more durable there, and anything good that comes from me is I give them the praise because they really put me through what I needed to. So, and then once I started working, it was like there was not a set that I couldn't step on that would make me nervous because of them. They pushed me so hard, and I'm so grateful for it. So that's kind of where martial arts started.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Thank
Speaking of
you.
being on set, so let me ask you, you see, you talked about being on set. What's your favorite thing about being on set? Like, do you have like, what's your favorite thing?
I've never been asked that. That's a great question. My favorite thing, this might be crazy. This might be crazy, but I get excited. I'm trying to think of what makes me excited. I do get excited sometimes when uh we're kind of in a rush. And they always put the stunts to last. They always like do the whole scene. They shoot the whole scene. They're like, okay, stunts, get in there. And then we're just like meant to be thrown in and pick up the pieces. Okay, do this part. Do this part. We got to get the wide. Okay, we're gonna go in for. Okay, we're gonna go. Oh yes, OTS. Ah, redo that one. That that hustle and bustle of set. Whenever we're stressed and we got to save money because we got to save time. I personally think I thrive in that moment. Those moments,
Mm.
or when we do producer runs or we perform, because I come from theater, anything performing in front of people, I light up. I've never had that like nervous thing of like, hey, we got to go perform in front of our coaches later. I've always loved it. So I think that is the part of set that really makes me excited, or it's like,
That rush.
I love that. Yeah, I love
Uh.
the rush of it. Maybe that's what it is.
I actually so I said I grew up on the East Coast. I actually grew up in New York City, and
Mhm.
I have one of my older brothers is a classical musician. He did a lot of Broadway shows. So when I was younger, I used to go to his Broadway shows, get to see him play. And then my daughter is in college right now for musical theater. So we kind of have a musical theater family a
Oh
little
my
bit.
God.
What is do you have a favorite musical?
Oh, that is rough. Okay, so I think there's a musicals that I would love to be in, and then musicals I love to watch. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
I'm so stupid. I love The Lion King. I love watching The Lion King. I I get so maybe it's the animals. I don't know.
Yeah.
I cry every time.
It's an epic
It
show.
is.
It's
Dude,
an epic show. Yeah.
music gets to me. If you
Mm.
have a good song, I can ugh love it. Love it. And I just it pops in my head every time, so I can't not mention it. But I would say, God, there's so many good ones, especially new ones. There's a lot of new ones that I don't know a lot about, but it's this one isn't really popular, but I feel like Bonnie and Clyde would be really fun.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. My daughter was in Bonnie and Clyde last year.
You're lying to my face. What?
She
Oh my,
was
nobody talks about it.
she was the preacher.
What? Wow. I need an autograph. That I'm
Oh
such a
my goodness.
fan. I'm
That's
such a
hilarious. So
love
Bonnie and
that.
Clyde, yeah,
So good.
that's a
So I
fun
mean, West
one.
Side Story, you can't I was Anita in high
Oh,
school.
there you there you go.
You can't go wrong with that's a bad bitch. Oh, that's a
You're good. You're good. You're
You're
good. You're
good.
good.
You're good.
Yeah.
We're like
I love
PG-13. We're like a
amazing.
PG-13.
I love a bad bitch. That is a bad bitch. You know, I love her. I love her. Those are my favorite.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah. That's super cool. Yeah, yeah. It's like being, I
Dude,
think being it's a different thing, of course, being in film and being on stage because yeah, you get that crowd
ugh,
reaction in
dude.
theater, and that
It's like
instant feedback.
immediate,
Yeah.
immediate. You know when something lands and you know when something doesn't. And it's but that makes it so it's such
Mhm.
a I was talking to somebody recently. They were like, "Oh, I was in theater also." And we just got off on the whole like, isn't it so different? Isn't this world so different? And it's like you almost can't they're completely different sports in my head. Like,
Mm.
oh, what did you bring over from just the fact that I had experience in front of people performing? I mean, other things too physically, but it is so different. I act different. I move different. I breathe different. It's so but I really appreciate both arts. It's so because now into film, it's like I'm super into camera, and I'm super into writing, and I'm super into like different parts. Whereas in theater growing up, I was just on stage, and not to say that I didn't appreciate every other part, but I feel like in film, I'm so much more involved in previs and doubling and training actors. It is feels very business like. It feels very business like. Whereas theaters, you do it and you leave it there. In my opinion.
Mhm.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Two different, like you said, two different sports. They both have their
Yeah,
opinions. So
absolutely.
But one kind of informs the other, right? Like, 'cause I think about all the Hollywood, megastars. Like Denzel always talks about starting in the theater, getting his game up in the theater. Sam Jackson talks about it. Anthony Hopkins started in the theater. Like so many of the greats seem like they started in theater, and then they transitioned over to film. Did you notice that your background studying theater and growing up loving the theater, being in the theater, made it easier for you to kind of come out the gate on film and be expressive, be more, I guess, being able to command your space more, your character more than you would have if you were to just say you grew up a martial artist and then you went out there and then you became a stunt person and then you had to learn acting on the back end. Do you think your theater background helped you kind of make that transition faster?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I'm I've always been a believer that in excuse me, film, anything goes. So you could be anyone off the street. And I can only speak from my experience. So with theater, I am so thankful that I have my background in theater, just because it helps me and what I've done and all the opportunities that I've had. Theater, it was so we studied literature together. We studied the different type of techniques and we kind of found the grit of ourselves in building a character. And you go to different, classes and you have different professors that teach you what it is to be the actor, not necessarily be the character. Whereas sometimes I feel like in film it's very you need to be this right now.
Hmm.
and figure it out. Not that you're kind of left out to drown or left out, yeah, to drown on your own. It's more, it feels to me more individualistic where when I'm stepping on a set as a character, people trust what I'm going to do with this character for the most part, for the most part. But when in theater, in my experience at least, I'm doing a lot of work by myself and with my company and with my director. We are now, not to say that every set isn't like that, that you're not working with your director so intimately, but I felt more, I want to say, thick in my, I mean, we were doing Shakespeare to
Yeah.
understand other plays, and I just don't stretch that same muscle all the time on camera, which it is kind of, it feels more business. It feels more business. This feels like therapy. This or theater feels like therapy, and
Hmm.
film can feel like a business, very much so. Hey, do that line again, but just open up really quick to this light. We want to get you on this camera real quick. Okay. So it is kind of detached in a way, and it is such a skill when you see the greats do the things that they do of, hey, you got to hit this mark, and they're in it, and because I'm pretty, I don't want to say I'm methody, maybe I am, but I tend to give a lot of different takes often, and I try to get back into it, but knowing to do the exact same thing with a cigarette, with your drink is so, when it clicks, it clicks. When you watch someone who's really good at their job, acting and
Hmm.
hitting their mark for a camera, oh, 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 let me shoot it. I'll shoot it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
It's funny. We did
It's exhausting.
a couple of proof of concept projects like years ago. And for Alpha Initiative Zero, we did it. And the characters that are in Alpha Initiative Zero, when I was creating them and writing them, I based them off of real life veterans that I knew, known for 20 plus years, right? And so we worked with those people to actually make these projects. And they're not actors, but they were like, big fans of Creative Extreme. They're like, yeah, we want to do it. And the first thing they said was, I never realized how hard acting is, right? Like you think, and my wife says it all the time, it's just like make believe. They're just doing make believe. And I'm like, no, no, no.
Get
And
in
yes, it
there.
is, right, it is make believe, but
Right.
it's a whole different thing when the lights are on, right? When the camera's on you, it's a whole different ball game.
Dude.
Um, so for you, because I know for me, right, people, and not to get too much of me because it's about you, but Steph and I played basketball together in college, right? And
I
so
didn't
people
know
would be
that.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He was like
Do
the
that again. Do
superstar
that again.
player, the best
How do you
player
Girl,
on the
dribble?
team. I was like the third string point guard. I was like
thirsty.
cap, I was captain of the practice squad.
Bitch.
I was, I was like, it was my job to make his life hell every day in practice.
Hold it down.
Yeah, he succeeded. The practice squad succeeded on a regular basis. They came at us every day. Um,
Um,
but people would be like, how do you, like you're at the free throw line, like, aren't you nervous? Like, how do you, for me, it was never a nerves thing because I'm physically exerting myself, right? So if I'm focused on what I'm doing and I'm fully physically exerting myself, that kind of works the nerves out and everything's leveled out. For you, doing both dramatic acting as well as the more physical acting with stunts and martial arts on film, do you find your approach and then the way that you are on film and the way that you are portraying these characters easier or more difficult with it being dramatic and then compared to the more physical stuff with the martial arts or the stunt work?
that's great. Yes, I almost treat them very differently too, because I don't know why. Maybe this is normal for other people, but when I step on set as a stunt person, I am very much so that. I'm very almost militant, and I'm in the shadows. I'm going over my choreography, and when I'm performing, it is very much so that, what do you need? Got it. Yeah, copy. Great. And it's very, very business, very, very to the point. I don't want to be inconvenient to anybody.
Hmm.
And with it in being in stunts, I've also, you hear you're doing all this stuff in this big old scene, and then they yell cut, and now you have wardrobe running up to you, makeup, hair. your boss is saying, "Hey, can you land in this light?" Okay, everyone's touching you and everyone's talking to you, and like you got to figure it out. You got to Nobody trains you to do that. You just have to
Yeah.
be on. And I feel like as a just human in the way that I am, I'm very good at high stress situations and taking in information. Okay, okay, copy, great. And that Shelley versus acting Shelley, it is very different. It's very much so I am I don't know if this is bad or not, but I can take the space to and take the
Hmm.
time to get into whatever I need to get into with a more dramatic scene or just acting in general. I'm like, okay, get the logistics. Okay, I'm landing here. I'm going to grab this bottle. Okay, no, I got it. I'm an athlete first. I'm always going to say that. I'm an athlete first. So I do take it pretty practical in my head first. And I'm like, okay, okay.
Hmm.
But I've done so much theater that I think I've done so much theater that whenever I had a really rough professor at some point in my life, but she was great because she would throw stuff at you at the last, like, "Hey, instead of coming up, can you come from downstairs and then walk up there? Easy, done it, got it." And I'm so like, if I have a direction, if I know where I'm going physically, I can play in that. I emotionally and when it comes to acting, I feel like I've done it long enough that I'm allowing myself to play in that a little bit more. And this is why you get different takes every time sometimes, and I'm working on it. Yeah, yeah,
I
very different.
mean, yeah, it's all I mean, I love how I love how you describe, the idea of having to process so much at the same time, you know, but you're able to like kind of like, got it. It's so funny. Again, just like Chris said, I don't want to make this about me because it's about you. But
No, I
I
love
relate to
it.
it because like even when like when I'm coaching people at the gym and I'm trying to like teach them how to do like a clean and I'm like, no, it's like get your hips down. Now, those pull your shoulders back. Now wait, and they're just like
Yes.
and
They're
some
like, they freak out. It's like you don't realize how many people
yeah.
don't operate under that
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
even as
Hmm.
if I double a lot, or if I'm doubling and I'm talking to the actress, and she also has hair, makeup, wardrobe, everyone's on it. So if I just need to give, hey, duck your head on this next beat, okay, like one. But I
That's
didn't realize that until getting into stunts and
yeah.
doubling all the time that not everyone operates like me. Not to say that I'm perfect at all, and sometimes I do miss things, and it does get all jumbled sometimes. But it's being malleable, always, just always
Mm,
being as malleable as you can, and taking in as much as you can, and also being like, okay, 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 give me 1 second here, and then okay, yeah, yeah, got it. Just
mm, mm,
taking the I realize a lot of actors and a lot of stunt people too don't know how to take the time and space to be like,
mm,
okay, because someone can get hurt.
Hmm.
I'm always gonna take a second. I don't take long, but I will take a second to be like, "Are you good? Okay, I'm gonna throw this over there this time. I'm gonna avoid the camera just so you can." Okay, great, got it. So, I might fuck up this take, but but I'm not hitting you. That's all I'm gonna say. I refuse.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
So
So
with the different roles that you've played, because some of your credits, shout out to you. You were a part of the team that brought us everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. You were a part of the team that brought us Captain America: Brave New World, right? More recently. So I mean, you've done, and then again, like I said, you've done dramatic work. Yeah, I thought I loved it. Your own piece. I think you wrote it, The Morning After. Did you write that? Is that one of
I
yours?
did.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought
You
The Morning After
watched
was dope. And it's again, it's a departure from how we worked with you initially on Alpha Initiative Zero. It's just straight drama. It's heartfelt. It's very relatable. It's very personal. It felt in that role. So you're playing all these different roles, right? You're a part of all these different projects. You, from what I understand, like me, are ambiguously brown. My mother is German, English, Irish. My father is Nigerian. I'm a African. I get asked what I am on a regular basis, right? I was just telling my kids the other day how a seventh grade substitute teacher asked me if I was an Eskimo because she couldn't recognize my brownness and my name. She's like, "Are you Eskimoian?" And I was like, "That's not even a thing.
Is that a word?
Right? What are we doing here?" But I digress, right? So being part of the ambiguous brown gang like you are, have you found that to be able to help you get into different kind of roles? If they're saying we need just a fair-skinned, curly-haired woman, she can be Latina, she can be mixed, she can be black. Have you found that to be the case in Hollywood when you're going out, you're auditioning, or if they're doing casting, they're like, "Hey, you're gonna play this because you fit the aesthetic." Has that been your experience, or have you been more like, "Look, I'm only looking to play this lane, right? When it comes to race or ethnicity, like I'm gonna stay true to this, and this is what I'm gonna do." What's your experience been?
If I'm honest, if I'm honest,
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm waiting.
so let me be careful here. It has been an interesting journey with my skin color. Not one I thought I would have to go through ever. I don't know
Mm.
why. Um, or again, being from Oklahoma, I never thought my skin color would be talked about as much as
Mm-hmm.
it has been. I okay, I'll say there are a lot of situations where I would be brought to double somebody much darker than me, and it would be awkward, and
Mm.
nobody knew what was gonna happen, or
We'll
you like
fix it
to
in
show,
post.
dude. Oh, I just and at the time, like when I was younger, like I guess almost a decade ago now. Oh shit. So wow, I didn't know the etiquette, and I just
Mm,
didn't want to make any waves. So, and I wanted
Mhm.
a job. I wanted a job. So there were a lot of times in the beginning of my career where I was doubling. I was still trying to figure out the actresses that I would double, and excuse me, that so when I was doubling these darker women, there's sometimes I would get painted down, and sometimes they would just leave it. Sometimes they would,
Mm.
some productions would care and some wouldn't. But there was a lot of times, most of the time I would get texted, and your boss texts you, you're like, "Hey, are you black at all?" "Yeah, I'm half black, half white." And they're like, "Oh, thank God." Okay. Silence until I show up. And I show up and we are not the same color.
Yeah.
I am like, I'm the best available right now. And I don't know what you want me to say. Which it was kind of like, whatever. I can do the job, whatever, safety, it depends. But there are sometimes that I've been painted down. I have.
Mm.
And then, but I thought I would be doubling a lot more, maybe Latina actresses. I really thought that
Right.
would be something in my cars, but I've not once ever doubled a Latina actress
Really?
or play a Latina. Yeah. And
Wow.
because I'm not a Latina woman, and a lot of
Yeah.
people, which is kind of like, I don't want to say it's limiting, but sometimes I understand if you want someone to match the ethnicity, I understand that. But in my mixed color, it is kind of difficult because they asked me if I'm black, but I would never double a full white woman. No one's gonna let me
Right.
do that. But you'll let me double a full black woman.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
okay. I
Yeah.
just I just need to know the rules. Someone needs to send me the
Yeah.
rules,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we're gonna have a conversation about it, then I think
Mhm.
it's different, and it's so funny. It just reminds me of my childhood. You just don't fit anywhere in it. And as much
Mhm.
as I would love to just double my ethnicity or my race, that it's just it's not available to me all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and then my
Interesting.
hair. This is my hair. Just I just had to dye my hair for this last project, but my hair is normally blonde, more blonde, and
Mm.
I really don't match anybody, if we're honest. And
What?
then I show up, they're like, "What are you?"
The question, what are you?
What are you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that question.
It's so interesting because I mean you've gotten a ton of work and like
Yeah, thank
yeah,
God. Oh,
it's so I mean that's a testament to your talent. It's a testament to
mhm.
your ability. But yeah, I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
that, but it's a question that even if it's not, explicitly out there, it's always kind of playing in the back of, our minds and everybody's minds and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you get the job done. Like you said, you've been able to get a ton of great work. So yeah,
Dude, yeah. I
that-
think that was
that's
also a
cool.
very big, sorry, really quick. I think that was
Right.
a very big, like, I noticed earlier on, I was like, okay, if this is going to be a thing, you're going to hire me because I'm good. I will be undeniable and I will
Mm-hmm.
work harder than everybody that you bring
Mm-hmm.
on. I promise you that. I'm not the best. I don't come from martial arts, so I have just that much more to work hard on. I have that much more space to gain back. So, and I knew that. I knew that. And I never understood that or never thought that I was better than anybody. Honestly, I always felt like kind of the underdog. So I've always had to play catch up in sports growing up too. I was always on varsity, but I wasn't the best, and I always wanted to be the best. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, if you're not going to bring me on a double in indie, I know not every indie spot is a woman, and it's really hard to fit in women sometimes. So you're going to bring me on a previs. I know how to shoot, and I know how to put a previs together. I know how to read the script and break it down and give you something. The coordinator can be like, I need to go to this meeting. Can you get this? Yes, I can do that. So
Mm-hmm.
I made
Mm-hmm.
myself valuable in other ways. You just get in where you fit in. And if you want it, then you'll find it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, I got one for you. Okay, so when it comes to the phrase storytelling, right? A lot of people have a lot of different ideas that comes to mind, all right? When you hear the phrase storytelling, what does that mean to you?
Wait, afraid storytelling?
No, no, no,
Sorry.
no. Of the phrase. When you hear the phrase
Oh, great.
storytelling,
Okay.
what does that mean to you? What comes to mind?
Oh
It's
God.
an open-ended question on purpose.
I was like, am I directing or am I okay, okay. Storytelling. In film.
Sure.
Go for it.
Storytelling in film. I will say, I feel like I talk about that a lot. Anytime I have a lot of friends who come and bring me ideas, and I'm like, yeah, but this is fight porn, which is okay. This is okay. That's which is which is okay. But I'm interested more in the storytelling of it. Of why does this matter? Why does this action matter? And if we're gonna tell a story, if it's we're telling a certain story with the camera, with the wardrobe, with the coloring, with the lighting, with the choreography. But if we're gonna do that, then we need everything matters. And we get to, I won't say we get to do more storytelling through the I'll say the gags or the moments, the beats. So we do the ba 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 ba, and then I need to feel something.
Mhm.
I can't sit in this for too long unless that's the point. Unless that is a story of we are in this thing for a very long time. We have a big old fight scene and we're trying to feel but also in that you would feel like the degradation of their physicality, or we are
Mhm.
showing that they don't stop, and then
Mm.
maybe we cut and then we cut to the end and they're still going 3 days later and then they're still going. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's a story in itself. You come in and oh my God, let me talk about this for a second.
Come on.
Let me
We're
go
on to
on. Just
something.
dude, I have so many. So a lot of people don't come from acting. I get it. I totally get it. But if I'm shooting something and I'm like, it matter, everything matter. If you come in, your action is to come in, pick up the gun, leave the room. You you get to tell me what you feel about this space, what you feel about yourself, what you feel about this gun, and what you feel about leaving. That you decide that. Now, usually it's in the script. So whenever you do certain things, you come in, is this the first time you've seen this gun? Have you ever, is it yours? You have to decide that. To me, this is storytelling. This is
Mhm.
I'm shooting the shot, yes, because I'm practicing lighting, but I need you to make a choice so that this lighting matters. So if you come in and you haven't, maybe you have seen this gun before, but it's been 12 years, or maybe you're coming in and it's 2 a.m. It's not 2 p.m. That also changes the scene. That changes everything about what you do. So I strongly encourage stunt performers and actors alone to think about everything, everything. If you want to be an actor, if you want to be a performer, if you want to be seen and felt, ugh,
Mm.
decide that. Decide that for me so that I don't have to guess. Unless
Mhm.
that's the story, and then I do have to guess.
I love it. I love the attention to detail. That's what I hear. That the attention to detail
Kills
that
me.
allows you to bring more texture to everything that's happening. Because, like you said, it's so funny because Chris and I had worked on a project. This was a while ago, and we helped somebody like punch up their script. Right? We just helped them punch up their script, and it was a
Love.
small indie film, and everything. And we saw like the final product, right? And we were like, I mean, it was like small, low budget, just just something to kind of. And we were watching it, and it was like, it's good, but something is just a little bit, just not quite hitting the way we wanted to, we thought it hit, right? Or we thought our dialogue, was presented, and we were like, and then finally I called Chris and I said, I think I got it. I think some of the actors don't fully understand the script, right? I mean, they knew the words and like they were doing a great job and everything, but we're just like, wait a minute. And the way I noticed it was because one of the actors mispronounced a word. And I was like,
Where's that?
I don't know.
As a
Samsonite.
matter of
That
fact,
was way off.
And I don't and it wasn't, it's nothing like, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Like I just mean it's like, you know what, like, not everybody dives in that deep. And you can still make some fun, good stuff, but when you talk about storytelling, I can tell that, like, you have a more holistic, more holistic outlook on it, because a lot of people, they kind of stay in their lane, right? Hey, I'm an actor, I do stunts, or I'm a writer or whatever. They kind of stay in their lanes. And there's a select few people who like kind of, not a select few, I mean a lot of people do it, but multifaceted in the
mhm,
process. you know there's,
mhm,
I don't think there's anything negative about someone being like, no, this is my lane and I'm going to perfect my lane, but you need both. You need people who are you need your specialists. You need those people, and then you
Hmm.
also need those people who do the multiple thing. Like you need both
mhm.
to make these things work, you know.
Amen.
And so like I say, but I think I resonate more with the multifaceted people too. It's like, like let's look at everything from all different angles, and kind of,
Mhm.
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that. It's interesting.
That's right. Dude, maximum effort. You know what I'm saying? We're all
That's
just trying we're just trying our hardest.
yeah.
But I think you're actually, I'll touch on that really quick, that you it's almost like you're trying to put something to this idea of, you're like, something's off, and you don't know until you don't know this thing or this idea until it is off, and then you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Well, what is that? Well, let me watch that again. Why did he say it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was wrong. Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
was wrong.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And then you notice that you're like, oh, am I the only one thinking about what this, okay,
Right.
noted.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. When we were watching it, we knew that like just me and him were going to be the only ones who noticed. Like, I mean, it
Right.
was like it was good. It's a good piece. Like we really liked it.
Hmm.
Like how it came out, and we knew that we were the only ones who were going to be
You said,
like I mean, but I mean, but I mean, everyone who saw it like loved it, and it wasn't just people who were like, oh yeah, it's because you're our friends, But like we showed it to people, and they really liked it, and everything. But yeah, it's a very interesting, yeah, very
it's an
interesting.
Hmm.
interesting thought.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
Along those lines, let me ask you a question. Um, so speaking of being multifaceted and, you know, directing a scene or trying to get, something out of an actor or actors in a scene that portray the story to tell it how you want to tell it, often, definitely back in the day, and I think maybe even today, I'm not sure, but in a lot of the martial arts films from China, they will have two separate directors. You probably know this. They'll have a director solely for the action scenes, and then they bring in another director for the dramatic scenes. When it's time to shoot drama, the action director's in his trailer. When it's time to shoot the action, the drama director's in the trailer. Would you prefer, as an actor who is able to do all things, would you prefer to have that approach? Because I do know, excuse me, I do know a lot of times actors who are physical actors is in they do their own stunts, or they're martial artists, or they're doing something that is a specialty type of skill. If the director does not have knowledge of how to do that skill, the way that they direct the actor will not always be conducive to what needs to be done in the scene by the actor or by the actors. So, would you prefer to rather have it, give me an action director for the action scenes and a drama director for the drama scenes, or would you like, hey, let's just one director, one voice, let's just work together till we get it right?
That's a great question. Wow, you have bangers. Wow. I've never been asked any of these questions. Okay. I think it depends on the project also. Ooh.
Mhm.
Um, in a perfect world, I would like both there. I would love both to be like, are we on the same page? Great. Awesome. So just so I don't mess it up. But I do because I don't know, I can't, my head goes to safety. So if I were doing something physical, I would want the action director to take hold because I was going to say, because chances are I probably have my character down. But
Hmm.
sometimes Shelley gets so into the action that I forget my character, or I do something that is more Shelley. And then I sometimes I do need to be reeled in of like, hey, remember, you just came from this, or remember, this just happened. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. Right. Or remember, this shot's black and white. Like even technical things. So like things
Mm.
that I'm just not thinking about. I'm trying to hit my mark so I don't have to redo this again.
Yeah.
Because I'm an athlete first. I think I do think of that in the first way. So I don't know. Part of me is selfish and I'd want both. But if they were separate, um, it would be interesting. But also if you have someone like Chad Stahelski,
Mm.
Yeah.
if you come from stunts and you turn director, then it's like, I mean, you might also, I don't, depending on who you are, might lean towards stunts it being the priority anyway, or the action being priority anyway. So I would bond on that, but I don't know. That's a good question. Both. Can I say that?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, you can't say that, Shelley. You can't. You got to pick one. No, of
Heard.
course
We're
you can
done.
say.
What did I say?
Yeah.
No, because we've seen Steph and I have seen projects that we've been close to where we know the the directing on the acting part was the part that was bringing up the rear, and the action part was great. And we've seen it vice versa too. The acting part is great, but the action part looks like a junior high after school special. So it's
Yep.
like they're two completely different specialties. If, like, to your point, if you could marry them, that's the dream, right? To have one
Mm-hmm.
director who's going to be able to be your one-stop shop for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got to choose, who do you choose? That
That's a
was
good.
why I asked it, because
Mm.
I'm a big fan. I mean, I've been watching, Steph knows, I've been watching martial arts and action movies way before I should have been. Like, I was watching when I was 3 years old, and it's a long story. But anyway, so I'm watching Van Damme movies. Actually, I just showed Bloodsport to my two oldest daughters the other night, and they were not ready. They weren't ready for they weren't ready for
You weren't
JCVD. They
prepared.
weren't ready for Bolo. They weren't ready for the
Never will be.
Kumite. They weren't ready for none of that, but they loved
Oh
it.
my god.
But so just growing up watching those movies, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
I even to this day, I will sacrifice quality in acting to get a dope ass action movie with crazy fight scenes, right?
That's true.
Like,
That's true. That is
so it's
true.
like, what do you
Yeah,
go with? Because sometimes you just got to sacrifice one to get the other.
that's true. It depends on the storytelling. Well, also I feel
Storytelling.
like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Uh-huh.
sometimes you do see something that it's separate, like where the action is great, but like maybe because I'm biased and I come from acting, but I also come from stunts. And so when you get some of the second unit directors or the action, they're directing the action, and then you're in there, you're like, this is kind of missing the tone of the whole show. Like, I know we're into fight porn. I love it just like the next guy. But also, when dad gets back, he's going to be pissed. Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. But yeah, it's hard. It is
Yeah.
hard.
I was gonna say that I think one of the cool things, even when you were talking about with the different aspects of filmmaking and how like sometimes, the different things you have to do to like become character, not just from breaking down a script and everything, but the physical part of it and the wardrobe and the makeup and everything. Just like that movie magic part of it that a lot of people don't necessarily understand if they're outside of they don't understand all the things that go on. I like to tell people, like, when you see that movie and there's like one person like in front of the camera, if you were to turn around, you'd see like 35 people surrounding with all this stuff, exactly, right? With all the lights and all the sound and all the and everything like that. And to just, so like so when I talk about this with Chris, I'm like, yeah, like if we have to, whoever we have to bring in to make it as good as possible, right? Because
Love.
people used to ask me, I've been a writer for many, many years. Like, unlike Chris, when I got out of college, I went straight into writing. Like, my first job was as a greeting card writer. So
I love that.
I worked for a minute. I was Mr. Deeds. Then my friends called me.
That's what I'll bring the beers. I'll bring the beers. I love that. That's
So I
much
went into
cooler than what I
we're
did.
like the oddest couple. Like that's why we got like we both have these crazy stories. But
Match made
like
in heaven.
I've been writing and doing a lot of different kinds of writing for a long time. People used to always ask me, so like, you just want to be a screenwriter or do you ever want to direct? And I was like, well, I don't know anything about directing. I never went to director school or whatever it is. I never went to film school. Like, I have, and everything. But then over the years, he would say, like, well, one of the primary jobs of the director, one, cast a vision, right? And number two, get people who know how to pull off the things that get that vision to come to life. And I was like,
Be a good leader.
I
Good
can
leader.
I can find people who can do amazing stuff that I can't do because I can't.
Dude,
It's
dude,
kinda-
that's so valuable. That is so, I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, if you can be a good leader, if you can just bring the right people together, that's how you figure it out. It's all of us trying to do everything. No, I got this. No, I got this. No, I know a guy who can do this. I know one lady who can do that. Let's
Yep.
just come together Saturday.
Yeah.
Dude, that's half the, I
Yeah.
wish someone would have told me that. Just be cool and get cool people.
Yeah, there you go. There it
Amazing.
is. Yeah,
Easy.
that's one of the reasons. Like, me and my family, we have a tradition of watching all the credits at the end of a movie, right? We're gonna sit there and we're gonna look at every name that has something to do
Of
with
course.
it,
I love it.
And so it's like, yeah, because all the people count, So
Amen. All 285 of them.
Right, they all count. Yeah, even though you just saw those two people on screen the whole time, it's like all the other 283. They also
There's a
contribute.
lot. There's a lot.
Oh my goodness.
So
Chris,
going back to so going back to, well, actually not going back to, tying all this together, right? We got connected through our Alpha Initiative Zero project with a bunch of cool ass dope people coming together on a Saturday to do something remarkable, right? It's actually a funny story to kind of do a callback here. So the character you played, Lieutenant Emily Wright, is based off of a friend of mine from high school. I've known her since high school. She's a sergeant in the U.S. Army. But the original character design was inspired by her, right? I want to say she definitely doesn't have alabaster skin, but she is a white lady,
Really?
black hair, right? Blue
Wow.
eyes. We send the description and the references off to the artist. The artist comes back and gives us Rihanna in a military uniform with a sniper rifle. So we were like, whoa, wait a minute.
Hang on.
What?
Hang on. Wow, because I've seen her clearly, and I'm like, wow, I don't know if I'm that tall.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's a whole, we can go down that road another time. Sending off
Wow.
descriptions and getting the actual artwork back and what we get back. Yeah, we got stories for days on that. But for the character you played, right? So we get Rihanna in the military uniform with a sniper rifle and a bandana. So we were like, all right, well, let's roll with it. Like, she looks great, right? So then when we started working with James, shout out to James Gapsey, when we started working with James on it, obviously he had the graphic novel, he had the artwork and the description and everything. And I'm taking it he went out to his network and you got brought in to play Emily, which is kind of like perfect almost. You kind of are in between, fair-skinned white lady and, the Bajan princess known as Rihanna. Like you're in the middle. But yeah, so you came on to do the role of Lieutenant Emily Wright in the Alpha Initiative Zero short film project with the Creative Extreme, Gavsy Productions, the GOAT Michael Lear, and the rest of the awesome team. I wasn't there. Steph mentioned when we were talking earlier, I was doing business out here, but he got to go out there. He got to meet you and everybody else out there. What was it like for you taking on this role, and did you do any kind of research into Lieutenant Emily Wright, Creative Extreme, Project 365, our whole universe and everything? And if you did, how did you use that to inform your portrayal of the role?
Why are you laughing?
Oh, no, because I knew he was going to ask this kind of question, but like I didn't realize it was going to have 7 parts. So go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know, man. I want to know.
Let me remember.
It's been like 4 years, 5 years now, right?
I know. I have
we initially did it. Yeah.
the worst memory. So just give me a second. From what I remember this being initially being hit up and it being like a small thing. It was not pitched to me as a small thing, but I remember like, hey, can you come out for this really quick in between whatever you're doing? Yeah, sure. No, sends me the script. I was like, oh, yeah. It's always like, this is for a thing that's going to get pitched. This is okay. Yeah. It's all, everything. Everyone's going to do awesome things. Awesome. Great. I'll read the script. And immediately I was like, oh yes, this Emily is a bad bitch. That's a bad. And I'm like, if I had any other life, it would be Emily. If I,
all right.
It was very, and you know what? Yeah. I think there was one other role in the past, maybe decade, that I fit personality wise, like I fit Emily. So it really felt, and I don't think I did a lot of like research. I don't think it was really given to me anyway. I think it was more like I do all this work on just what I've been given, and I think there was maybe a little bit of backstory, but now that I remember, it did feel like I show up and they're like, oh yeah, this is also like a part of her story, and this is her, and this is her, and I'm like, oh my god, awesome. Yeah. Are we rolling? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. I do remember. It coming together a little bit quickly, which I
was about to say it was very quick. Because we talked to James called us about it around Thanksgiving time, and we got at Christmas. So it was
right after Christmas. Yeah.
It was a month from the time he called us and asked if we could use the characters to the time the script was written to the time you started contacting all you guys. Like, so yeah, if it feels like it was crunched, that's not your memory playing games with you.
Okay.
It happened that fast.
I don't want to put anyone on the best, so I don't want to mess this up. Okay, that makes sense to me. And I feel like I was also busy around that time, so I was like, okay, I'll read it. I got to do this thing. And I think I did my first car hit at that year or something like that. So I was just going through a lot. But yeah, I do remember. But then being on there and Mike Lair, oh my God. Love that man. He put me in my first previs. He's also the reason why I do anything that comes from me is good is because of him. His patience with me, it was amazing. But no, and I remember it coming together pretty quickly, and then later on I think somebody told me in the community, they're like, oh yeah, I think I was supposed to help out, but I wasn't available or something, so they gave it to you. And I was like, oh, okay. Awesome. Love that. You know what, I had a great time.
That person's on the list. We're putting that person on the list.
They're on the list.
On my list. I had the best time, and I think it went very well. And I learned a lot, and I met some really cool ass people. And cut to 5 years later, it
Yeah.
looks amazing.
It came together. It was
So it was great.
everybody that I've seen watch it at the premiere or that has seen it from, acquaintances, friends, family to potential actors in the industry and their representation teams and, the like, everybody has said it's amazing. Everybody has said it's amazing. And not just that it's amazing, but the performances were amazing, meaning you did an amazing job. Everybody has said that. Nobody has even said, yeah, it was cool. Like, no, like everybody has been
Wow.
blown away by it. So
Amazing.
to whoever that was that passed on it, thank you. Because we got the best of the
Thank
best
God.
out
Thank
of
God.
the
You know what?
project with this
Everything happens
team.
for a reason too. You know what I'm saying? And I watch it and I'm like, oh, I would have probably made some different choices. Of course, you always do something and then you're like, oh, I should have done this, whatever. And I'm so much more gritty now, whatever. But it still stands. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I stand by what I did. I stand by, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I want more. I love her. I love her. She's great. Ugh.
Well, we got more. Trust me,
Oh
we
yeah,
got
we
more.
got more. Do you I know, like you said, we know you do stunts, we know you do previs. Do you choreograph? Like, or do you have or do you do any type of choreography?
Yes, I depends on what for. Depends on what for. If I'm on previs, I'm usually performing or on camera.
Mm.
Choreographing. There are some people who are like my boyfriend Alan, amazing choreographer. He eats, lives, breathes, shits choreography.
He's a specialist.
He's a specialist. He's what he made me realize that I can bring you in and you can obsess over that while I can think of 6 other things.
Mm.
So I'll
Mhm.
say yes. I'll say yes. If you give me something, absolutely I can make something. However, I would love to give it to somebody who does that and
Mm.
loves that because I love this. I love this and I love
Mm.
performing and I love putting the fight porn into the story. And we're like, okay, yeah, this
Mm.
fits here. No, let's take it to that, man. In a perfect
Yeah.
world.
Well, we said the same thing, and we've been saying it from day one, and we've told everybody this in these pitch meetings that we've had and working on developing projects is we don't want to do action just for the sake of doing action.
Mm.
We feel like action should be two things. One, a vessel to tell the story or a story within the story, right? Every fight should be telling a story. And then B, have the type or the way that the action is done be a hallmark, right? Or be a staple of the brand. Creative Extreme, you see a Creative Extreme project, you know what to expect when it comes to the action. You know it's going to tell a story and you know it's going to be off the chain, right? And not just great, but it's going to have its own signature to it. So we got a project that we were working on, the Ghost Orphanage, which has to do with action scenes that involve a lot of sword play. We want that sword play to be John Wickian, right? So when you see that scene, you're like, that's Creative Extreme. That's the action. That's their style. That's their brand. I'd recognize it from a mile away, right? But again, we wanted to tell a story too because fight porn. I've never heard that phrase before, but I love it. I'm gonna start using it. We didn't want that, right? We didn't want our films just to be like that. Like you got this story going, and then you feel like you just got this high octane break or insert of action, and then you
Mm-hmm.
get to a halting stop, and then you go back into story again. It's like you shouldn't have that feeling, watching it. If
Dude.
again, I'm watching an '80s action flick, I expect that. If I'm watching, something like that, but not today. Come on, guys. It's
Right.
2025. Let's step
Dude,
our
I
game
feel
up a
like
little bit.
sometimes you watch something and it literally feels like you're watching this thing and it has this theme or this tone about it, and then they literally just give the camera to a stunt guy, whatever the action. And it's what they do sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they literally like you shoot the action and then they shoot it the way that they do it, and it's like,
It's jarring. It's
Yeah.
and we got super lucky with connecting with Michael Lear and all you guys, because
Oh,
just coming out the gate with like our first like big time short, like, and already being able to work with people who are have the same kind of idea about creating action that tells a story and that
mm,
some unique elements, because of course you could say like, well, everything's already been done, right? But if you're telling if you're telling a story, that's what makes that fight unique, right? And we love that
yes.
you guys are able to pull that off, and the whole thing with with the mind control and like
Oh,
just such a super cool
oh
twist,
my gosh.
and
I wasn't sure if I could talk about it, but yeah,
yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. We can talk about it a little bit, but yeah.
so good.
So, because
So
it
good.
was interesting because, just a real quick, like Chris was the primary driver behind this set of characters, and so we have this, and we have them imagined in a certain way, and we gave like when they came to us and said, hey, we'd love to use these characters, we were like, all right, well, we have a full feature-length script and everything like that, and we have a graphic novel. It's like we can't do that, we're gonna have to adapt it into something more feasible. And they said, yeah, we're gonna bring in this writer, like he's really really good. And the first thing Chris and I was like, well, we're writers, so are you just so, but
Hello.
but it was someone who they had worked with, and like he was really cool. And we talked to him a little bit and shared the idea. And then when he was able to capture the essence of our characters while adding a slightly different twist to some of the things that Chris had come up with, and it was still like we were like, oh, dude, like he did it.
We were like that at the premiere when we
Yeah,
actually saw it. We
yeah.
were like, wait a minute, that's new. I didn't know that was in there. What did they?
Like,
You're sitting over here like,
it's like, because we're precious. We're precious with our characters. We're like, man, it's like,
I hear
we
that.
want to do this. And it was like, yo, y'all did it right. Like, y'all, like, and
I love.
but yeah, just again, that idea of telling a story within it, like that was the big key. We really, like we harped on that. We was like the fight scene has to tell a story. It
Mhm.
has to tell a story. It just can't be, it just can't be, we're good guys and we gotta beat the bad guy. It's like, well, yeah,
Dude.
but but so what else? So yeah, it
Well,
was
yeah.
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 Yeah, that's
That's
of
so
course,
true,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's so
So,
true. Oh,
all
God.
right,
So
all
good.
right,
Well,
Chris, what
yeah,
do you
we're
got? You
gonna.
got
Well, I was gonna say, I know we've
yeah,
been occupying your time and your focus and your attention for too long. So we're gonna get you out of here on this. We're gonna do a segment that we're gonna call Mount Shelley, and we're gonna go over a few different topics, and we need you to give us your Mount Rushmore picks for these different topics, right? So top four, right, for each one of these. We know you, like I said, you are a thespian. You come from the theater. So, will 1993 Cats be on your Mount Rushmore of your favorite plays slash musicals of all time? Is it going to be Bonnie and Clyde? I know you mentioned that before when you were talking about it. What is your Mount Rushmore of plays slash musicals of all time?
Oh. I'm biased. I did a show called Really Really Straight Play. Oh my gosh, challenges a lot of ways people think. Love Really Really. So good. I'm gonna say Cats because she started it. Cats. A lot of people don't get it. I understand that, but I do. Um, I do love Cats, and we'll say I'll leave Bonnie and Clyde out. Let's do some of these just oh I do like last 5 years.
Okay, that's
Last
three.
5 years. I do like Jeremy. I love Jeremy Jordan. And then I'll do Lion King, obviously. What am I doing? What am I doing?
that's right.
Hello?
That's right. Lion King.
Off the dome.
Okay,
That's off the dome.
Yeah,
that's off
yeah.
the dome. So we got Cats, Really
Mhm.
Really, Lion King, and what was the other one?
Oh no.
Um,
She just said it.
What did I just
um, um, it's like it's on tip of my tongue.
really, really?
It was
Cats.
Last 5 years.
last
Last 5 years. Last 5 years. Okay. All right. Well, maybe it doesn't belong on Mount Rushmore if none of us can
Right.
remember it.
Another one. I'll text you another one later.
All right.
All right. Mount Rushmore of the martial arts / action heroes of all time, in your opinion.
Oh my god. This feels like
You're Mount
Letterboxd.
Rushmore.
Yeah.
Heroes or films?
Film. Let's go with film. We're going to go with films.
Action films.
Action, martial arts, films.
Oh my god. That's so hard. I'm a sucker for Blade.
Wesley? All right. Yep.
Come
You said the magic word.
I'm gonna say Blade 2 specifically. Blade 2
Okay.
specifically. No Mac, first of all. If I could play one character that is not my gender, dreams. That is a dream.
Jared
Anyway,
Nomak?
I love Jared
You
Nomak.
go rock the coat with the hoodie, the fur, and all that?
Bald, veiny, big mouth. Fuck it. Just creepy. Oh.
All right.
Nothing like
All right.
that.
Blade
Number one.
Deuce. Blade
Sorry,
Deuce.
Blade
Okay.
2. Blade 2 is solid.
Mhm.
More action. I'm into Bad City. Have you seen Bad City?
Mm-mm.
Girl.
Bad City? Tell me about it. You got to.
I'm getting.
I think it's on Netflix. I saw it like 2 years ago. It's really good. Random, but
Okay.
really, really good. Look that one up. It's probably my favorite action right now.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Let me think.
Mhm.
Oh fuck. Give me some ideas. What are some random ones?
Let's see.
I
I've always a
mean,
lot.
Um.
Yeah, what are your favorites? Tell me.
what are my favorites? I can tell you my favorites. I got my favorites locked in.
I never
So-
thought of that.
So if I can give you actor and then I can give you movies. Where you want to start with
Okay.
me? Because all right, so my
Actor.
favorite actors, my Mount Rushmore of action actors, right? You know what? I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna do just straight action,
See?
martial arts, then film. So just straight action. Straight action. We're going Arnold.
Kind of
Gotta
feels like
go Arnold.
Go ahead.
Gotta
This
go
guy's
Arnold.
crazy.
Mhm.
You gotta go Stallone, right?
Oh my god, True Lies. Come on. Sorry, go
True
ahead.
Lies.
Ugh.
True Lies.
I was just
Everything
quoting
about it.
True Lies.
The
I was
whole
just
film.
quoting True Lies to my twins yesterday
Oh my god.
because they had a toy
Oh no.
and
Oh
the
no.
toy needed batteries. And you know the scene in True Lies when the terrorist is filming? He's filming
his
the batteries. Remember?
Yeah.
So one of the twins comes up to me and is like, "Daddy, this needs batteries." And I was like, "It needs what?" She's like, "It needs I was like, "Batteries?" And she says, "What?" I said, "Batteries." And she was like,
Of
"No,
course.
no, batteries." And I was like, "Batteries."
Oh
don't know.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Of
True
course.
Lies is
You know.
my joint. That's my joint. Okay, so Arnold, you
Okay.
gotta put Stallone in there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm skipping over Eastwood. I'm skipping over Bronson. They're legends, but that was way before me. You gotta go Bruce Willis. I think you gotta go Bruce Willis, right?
That's a good one.
And do I want to go new age? Do I want to throw any of the new guys in there? No, I'm gonna keep
You
it
have
classic.
to. Come on. It's the
But
industry.
who?
trying to
Let's see.
get-
Okay, but this is what I'm thinking, right? Like I'm thinking, put Wesley in that last spot. Do I put? I don't want to put The Rock over Wesley. I don't want to put Jason Statham over
I
Wesley.
agree. I agree. Don't hurt me
So-
like that.
No, so I think I'm gonna put. Yeah, I think I got to put Wesley in there. Now Wesley's gonna carry over to the Mount Rushmore of martial arts stars. I'm gonna put Wesley in there.
Awesome.
I got to put JCVD in there because I grew up
Oh,
watching his joints.
Amazing.
I'm not gonna put. Did you ever see American Ninja with Michael Dudikoff? Do you remember those movies
No.
from the '80s? No, that might be before yours. I told you I've been watching
That's
rated
deep.
R films since
That's deep
1985.
into the-
So
yeah,
like
that's
I'm
a
going.
deep
I can go
cut.
way back. I'm gonna put an honorable mention for my guy Sho Kosugi, who did the Return of the Ninja movies, Japanese cat way back in the day. He pioneered all this ninja shit that's going on today in film. But he's
I
gonna
love
get an
that.
honorable mention. So I'm gonna put Wesley. I'm gonna put JCVD. I'm gonna go a little bit more new age. I gotta put Tony Jaa in there. I think
Yeah.
Tony Jaa is
Yeah.
the illest of the ill.
Yes. Eco
And
Wise? Come on.
Eco, did you see the joint with Eco and Tony Jaa? Did you see that joint? What was it called? They played
Yes.
friends that became enemies. Steph, I showed you the final fight scene
Yeah,
for that joint.
yeah, it was brutal. Like I had nightmares.
Oh, God. What was the name of it? It was
so
on
graphic.
Netflix.
It was so graphic.
They had their final fight scene in the factory, and there was, I mean, there was glass, there were nails,
Wow.
it was crazy. But yeah, Eco, you put it because the Raid Redemption,
Raid. I was about to say the Raid Redemption.
Raid 2.
But everyone says it. I'm trying not to like
Try not. Oh, try not to be cliche.
try to do something
The
like
fight-
Malignant. Malignant was a good one. Well, as far as action
Yeah.
goes, I'll say action.
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah.
the one that like bent my mind, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Wesley. You know what? I'm taking Wesley out actually because I want to go a little bit more old school. I'm gonna
End
go. Look, listen. I'm
I'm gonna call
go.
him right now. You know what he just said? I can't do that. I don't know. That's not. Let's just be clear.
He's on my action star Mount Rushmore. Straight martial arts. He's a great martial artist. Straight martial arts. I'm gonna go JCVD just because I grew up on his joints. I'm gonna go Bruce Lee because he started this shit.
Okay.
Got to put Bruce in there. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go Jackie.
You're not gonna say Jackie?
Chan because Jackie did the acting, he did the stunts, and he did the martial arts all in
He did
one.
that. That's a bad bitch.
And the last one, I'm tempted to put Bolo Young in there just because I feel like he's the greatest martial arts villain of all time.
Okay.
Because you look at Enter the Dragon, right? You look at Bloodsport. You look at what was that other joint he did? He did Tiger Claw with Ronson. What was her name? Or Rockwell? Was it Samantha Rockwell? Cynthia Rockwell? Cynthia Rockwell. He did that joint, and then he was in Double Impact with Van Damme with the twins. You remember with the twins when he played the twins?
The twin Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Twin joints, and they had the final fight in one of the final fights where Bolo was in the back of the truck with all the crates and shit, and he took the shirt off. He's the most Jack Swole Asian of all time. Period. Like there's no argument. There's no question about it. Bolo is.
He looks good. He looks good.
Yeah, he's the legend. So I think, do
That's
I
a
put
good
Bolo on there? Or Jet Li? No, I think I got to put Tony Jaa in there. I'm gonna put Tony Jaa in the fourth spot because the Protector, he did that joint, and then he did Ong Bak, all three of them. But the first Ong Bak was it blew my mind. That was off the chain. So yeah, Tony Jaa, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and
Wow.
yeah, JCVD.
CBD.
Yeah, can't put Seagal on there just because off of principle. Even though I loved his movies growing up.
His movies
Hard to
growing
Kill.
up. Have you seen
Above the
any
Law,
of his last
Under
100
Siege?
movies he's done in the last
I can't.
like?
The last
That
joint.
dude comes out like 8 movies a year right now.
8 movies a year. The last joint I rocked
Check clears.
with Steven Seagal was he was in Machete. He played the bad guy in Machete. I could rock with him there. I could do that. But the other after Under Siege, I think I tap out on Seagal. Even though the overkill is legendary, he always overkills everybody in his films.
When he still actually had a name, man. Like there's a YouTube channel I follow that reviews all of his new movies. It's hilarious.
When he threw the Jamaican Screwface, the Jamaican gang leader, down the elevator shaft, and it was just a bunch of pillows stuffed and tied together.
That officially jumped the shark right there. Yeah, that's when it's Seagal jumped the shark.
Damn.
You can't kill Screwface. Screwface have no face, no eyes, no name. Come on, man.
That's so good.
The
I'm not
He's
gonna
killing
throw
it.
Mount Rushmore, but I gotta throw one out there. Of course, is I'm a Mission Impossible guy. I love the Mission Impossible movies. It's like I think that's my
Okay.
favorite series of movies. Mission
Okay.
Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One is like the best title to a movie I've ever heard.
I love that.
and then,
That's pretty good.
and then,
That's
and
pretty good.
then I love them, which crazy. I loved Philip Seymour Hoffman in the third one. And Philip Seymour Hoffman, of course, amazing. Just, played a great villain. I just learned,
Mhm.
I saw The Long Walk last night, the new movie
Oh,
from the Stephen King book.
yes.
I absolutely loved it. Found out that the main character in that, well, in that movie is Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. So I think it's his first big movie. And it's like he was really good at it too. I didn't know Philip Seymour Hoffman had a son, but not that I know everything about everybody. Just the people
No,
we
right.
research, just the people we research for interviews.
I was gonna say, I didn't know that.
So
I should do more research. I should.
and then like I was old like in I'm sure it was big in other places too, but in New York we watched all those old Shaw Brothers kung fu flicks, like super, like just, and I was a huge fan of a film called The Five Deadly Venoms. That was like my favorite
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
growing up, so
Wow.
yeah, I just introduced my son to it like a couple of months ago. So, he's a fan.
Oh,
He's a fan.
I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I love that. I
Do you
love that.
remember? So Steph is a massive Wu-Tang fan.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I'm a huge Wu-Tang
Yeah.
fan, but I don't think anybody's a bigger Wu-Tang fan than Steph. Steph, do you remember when they
Steph,
came
yeah.
out with the Wu-Tang classics on VHS? All of
Yeah.
their favorite kung fu joints.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
I wa- we were when we were in college together. I was watching Iron. It was Iron Armor. There, I had
Mm.
two of them. I had the Iron Armor. It was the Iron Figure for the Iron Armor, and it was the joint where the Kung Fu Master learned how to make his body invulnerable to anything except for the Iron Finger style. And if you had the Iron Finger style, you could penetrate the Iron Armor, but you had to know the weak spot first. And so
Ugh.
this guy had mastered how to how to fortify his entire body except for his balls. And so at the end, at the end fight scene, when he figures out where his weak spot is and he goes for the winning shot, right?
Oh my gosh.
They didn't show him actually hitting him. They
All
showed
right.
the two eggs get tossed in the air, and then
Oh,
so a hand catches him and cracks him. And I was
Oh
like,
my
yes, this is what
God.
I'm talking about.
This is what I want.
This is what I wanted. Yes,
Oh,
that one, and then it was Wu Tang versus Shaolin was the other VHS that I had.
oh man. Yeah.
Yeah,
great
Yeah.
start.
Oh my gosh. All right. All
yeah.
right.
That's
And
amazing.
and
Well,
and and,
okay.
and on that note,
Well, no, I want to go out. I want to go out with
okay,
Shelly
okay, okay,
doing
okay,
one
okay. We're
more.
not gonna go
So,
out on the egg on the eggs cracking. All
no,
right.
we're not going out on the Iron Armor eggs cracking. One more Mount Shelley. Mount Shelley, give
Oh,
us your Mount Rushmore of wishes that you have going forward with your career in Hollywood.
Ooh, that's awesome. I like pie in the sky. I would love, I've said this for a long time. I want to
Is this
get
in
a,
pie in the sky? We're putting the positive energy out into the universe and we're
I
speaking
love,
life to it right now.
I
That's what we're doing.
just don't know if it's actually possible.
Oh no, it's
Um,
possible.
that's
So
good.
let's start making it happen right here.
I want to win a Taurus and an Oscar in the same year.
It's gonna
Mm,
happen. Keep
let's
going.
go.
That's my
Oh,
yes. That's my yes. And actually it would be possible because it depends on release date. Anyway, Taurus and Oscar in the same year.
Okay.
um, is that two? That's two, right?
No, that's one. That's one. That's one.
Okay.
Because it's happening in the
Okay.
same year, so that's one.
That's what the next year.
we're making up the rules as we go along. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Another thing I want in my career, I want to direct. I want to direct eventually. I eventually want to get into directing. I mean, technically, I direct small things now, but I want to direct.
You talking about
Ooh.
like big tentpole major franchise project, or are you talking
That's what I'm
about just
thinking. I'm like, I don't know if that actually matters to me. If the bills are paid, I feel like I would like to direct. It doesn't necessarily have to be. I mean, I would like to direct an action film. I would like to be at least on like a $200 million action film. That's fine for me. As director, that'd be great. And I would like to. There's a series that I'm working on right now that I would love to take off. Yes, and it just follows
Okay.
what it is to be a woman in stunts. That's really it.
Okay. All right. That's
It's
dope. That's
Fall
gonna
Guy,
happen.
but funnier. I'm kidding.
Hey, it's gonna happen.
Right. Those are my four. I think
That's
those are pretty
three.
good.
That was only
Three?
three. Directed
What?
tentpole, Taurus and Oscar in the same year, right?
Right.
This series to take off. That's three. You need one
And
more.
writing. I'm gonna write. Oh, did I say that?
Oh, you say
Oh,
writing. Oh, okay.
oh my God. What do I want? With my career, specifically with my career. I want.
Or if you want to save that last spot to be just a personal wish in your life, one thing to happen in your life.
I want to be a mom.
There it is.
I want
That's
to
the
be a
big
mom.
one. That's
Yeah.
the big one.
That's what I want. Those things that would be crazy. All of those, great. I don't know what else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a full
You
life. I
just,
mean, you already have a full life, and that would make it.
dude, I feel like you make it so far, and you're like, oh, I've done so much. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's really what I planned, but you do so much, and then you look back, and it's so funny. I've been doing interviews this past week also, and then they ask you questions of your past. I'm like, wow, I've done a lot to get here, and you go through so much, and you really appreciate the shitty things and the good things, but dude, like you lived 7 different lives in the past decade. It's so crazy. So, but cool, but super cool, and it makes you excited about what else is coming. So, it honestly, I feel like my list would have been longer in the past, and now I'm like, it's just a few things I want. Nothing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 things. I'm like, wow, this took me a while to like figure that
Yeah.
out, but
Well,
it's
here's how
just,
it's gonna go down. The series is gonna take off. It's gonna blow up.
dude,
Your name's gonna become known. Then you're gonna get tapped, right, to be in projects or a project that's gonna win you both awards in the same year, right? Then when that happens, then you're gonna have all the juice, right? Big Shelly's got the juice now. So
momentum.
now that you got the juice, Big Shelly's got the juice, you're gonna be like, I want to direct. And they're gonna be like, bet, like you got it, you're directing. And we're gonna throw this $200 million budget at you. Let's make it happen. And then once that happens and that film wraps, you're gonna be like, all right, yo, I'm off, I'm gonna go be a mom now. And then you're gonna go have a kid, and the rest is gonna be all magic from there. That's how it's going
Wow.
down.
Wow, write that down. Write that down.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
I love that. That's a great story.
It's your story.
Storytelling.
Lots
your
of
story.
failures on the way, for sure.
All about
Lots of
storytelling.
failures on the way.
Well, thank you, Chelsey, for being here with us today. It was a long interview, but you were dope. We loved it. Tell everybody where they can find you, social projects,
And be like, yo, is there anything we could throw at Chelley right now? Is there anything Like, what can we collaborate on? Come on, you know.
I
So,
love it. I love it. The
but
night is
no,
young.
it's great hearing about all the things you've done and all the things that you're doing, and like,
Likewise.
we've been following you, and we're just we
Yeah.
really do. But on a serious note, we definitely hope that we get a chance to, be in the same realm on the same project again at
Oh my
some
God.
point, and
Please.
as Chris said, as soon as Alpha Initiative, gets picked up and blowing up and everything, we're gonna be like, yo, somebody better cast Shelly as something because she gotta be up in this joint, So it's but yeah, no, but yeah, on a serious note, definitely, we're excited about everything you're doing, and yeah, we just
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Listen,
very
I'll see you at the top. Just say
see
the
you at the
same.
top. There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, well, thanks everyone for joining another episode of the Abbott and the Artista. Our special guest, Big Shelly, not the little Shelly, Chelsey Goldsmith. Thank you, and we'll be back sometime in the future. It won't take us a year and some change for us to come out with another episode, but
It wasn't that long.
I
You
don't know.
said
It's been mad long. It's been
Yeah,
mad
you
long
said
since we did our joint. But we'll be back soon. Thanks, y'all. Peace.